I'm here with Roger Guillemette, and the whole purpose of this is we are demonstrating the cast aluminum veterans markers that go on the grave. They're placed securely in front of the grave, and then a flag goes right into it. Now, Mr. Guillemette, do you find it's a lot easier for volunteers to identify graves and get the flags in place?
Yes, it's a visible marker as well as indicating that it is a veteran.
And so how does this work?
Well, what we do is, as you have seen, we plant the marker, and then we take this rod and pierce a hole in it.
Okay.
Make it to size.
Yes.
And then we take the flag and insert it in the hole, and as a good veteran, you render a salute to this deceased member.
Every time?
Every time.
Every time. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Mr. Bazzone, for your patience.
I'm asking you today to remember a veteran and say thank you to a veteran. Now we're going to move on to much further back in history. Along with that, we're going to go and meet Pete Thompson. He's the chairman of the Taunton Veterans Grave Markers Committee. He's taken over after a lot of great work by a gentleman named Don French. And we're going to find the grave of Seth Staples. Now, Seth Staples was a Minuteman, according to records at the Old Colony, with Captain James Williams Jr.'s Minuteman Company. And in 1775, he and the company of Minutemen marched 40 miles to Roxbury. Now, that may not seem like much for a brave young patriot, but Seth Staples was an elder deacon right over here at the First Parish Church, and he was 75 years old.
Just a little walk through here.
Okay.
And this is what I whacked back all last fall.
Here he is.
Here he is, yep. This individual here is Deacon Seth Staples. And I don't have a lot of history behind him, but we do have some documentation that he fought during the Revolutionary War. Why he was buried here is still a little unknown, but there's a couple good stories that probably stand to be believable. And one is that he contacted either a diphtheria, smallpox, or some type of communicable disease that the undertaker or whoever else was scared to put him into a cemetery, thusly contaminating what they thought back then other graves. And so he was, from what I understand, he was buried out here at the edge of a field under some nice oak trees for a little bit of protection and shade. Yeah, we've got a program. It's a sustainment program. We have 2 fundraisers a year, one in the spring and then one in the fall, which is a pancake breakfast coming up on Veterans Day, or that weekend of. And that should be enough funds with some other donations to keep enough monies to replace markers that are damaged by lawnmowers, overgrown, misplaced. We've been very fortunate we haven't had any pilferage, which is good. Reason for that, I think, is the fact that the aluminum is a scrap aluminum. Yes. And it really has no value. Oh, okay, that's good. It might be worth 3 or 4 cents to a guy that went to a scrap yard. So, and we've located, identified this marker and passed it around town. So.